Fine, good afternoon to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Students, have you all studied till chapter 8, 9? So I have completed till chapter 9. So now this week you have exam. So you should study thorough all the chapters, okay? So please study daily portion students, don't waste time. Okay? So welcome to our today's online class. So today we are going to study about chapter 10. Okay. So till now I have completed chapter 9. So we have thoroughd about chapter 9. Isn't it? So have you all thoroughd till chapter 9? Have you all thoroughd or not? So please study. Okay. Don't waste time. So what's the title of our chapter 10 means? So Python classes and objects. Okay, so in this chapter, we are going to study about classes and objects. What do you mean by class and as well as what do you mean by objects? So this concept already you have studied thorough in your 11th standard. Sorry, remembering? So in A9, 12th chapter, I think it's a 12th or 13th chapter, object-oriented programming. So 2 or 3 papers is there. So related to that chapter only, this chapter is there. Okay. So first, so this Python also we can say this language is also a object-oriented programming language. Okay. So last year we have studied about one programming language called, so which programming language you have studied in the last year? C++, isn't it? So C++ is also a object-oriented programming language. Similarly, this Python is also a object-oriented programming language. Okay. So in this way we are saying this Python is also a object-oriented programming language. So what are the main concepts you have studied in object-oriented programming OOPS? Are you remembering? Classes, objects, constructor, destructor. Are you remembering about this one? Classes, objects, constructor and destructors. So this and all already you have studied thorough in 11th standard. So if you study thorough in 11th standard means this chapter will be very easy for you. Okay. So in this object oriented programming, so classes and objects are the main important features. Okay, so which is the main important features in this object oriented programming language? Classes and objects. Okay, so if you take a program mean, so classes means immediately you need to remember one example you have studied in 11th standard. Are you remembering? Class student. Inside the class student, you will define int age, int height, float weight. Then inside the class again you will define student of. Inside the DOB of. Inside that you have given int date, month, year, isn't it? So that we are calling as an one class. So inside the class, if you need to access the class inside the program, so you should use an object in the main of function. For example, you have created a class called a class student. This what are the things you have declared inside the class? You should access the class inside the main of program. For that, what you will do? You will create a object for the class. Isn't it? This already you have studied in 11th standard. Same concept only. Here also we are going to create an object for the classes. So the theoretical concepts of both classes and objects is very similar to C++. Last year what are things you have studied that is related to here. But compared to C++, implementation of classes and objects in Python is very easy. Okay, so implementation of classes and objects in C++ is somewhat tough. So compared to C++, the implementation is very easy in Python. Understand? This is the introduction. Then, so this and all very important. Okay, what do you mean by class? What do you mean by object? Very important. 1 mark as well as 2 mark question. So if you take the programming, so which is the main building blocks means class. Okay, which is the main building block in Python program? Class. This and all important one word questions. Understand? So which is the main building block in Python program? Class is the main building block. Okay. So, for example, you have defined a class. So, on the same example, you take class student. So, simply if you have defined a class. So, inside the class student, you should give the details belongs to the class. So, for that, what are the things you should do? You should create a, for example, int height, int weight, in float weight, isn't it? So, this and all data. So, if you define a class, inside the class, you should define lot of datas. Okay, then, so height is there, weight, float. So, if you ask to display the some details about students, what you will write? You will write a function. So, inside the function, you will display print height of a student, print weight of a student. For that, you will write void read data of or void display of. That is called function. So, a class student, that's a main building block. If you define a class alone, whether there any use is there? No. For example, if you are going to build a house, so which is the main building block of the house? Basement. So, if you build a basement alone, whether the house will get complete? No. For that, separate step is a first you should build basement. Then what? Terrace. Everything you should build, isn't it? Likewise, a class if you define means empty only class is defined alone, whether any use is there? No. So inside that you should define data and functions. Understand? So for that data and functions we are calling as an object. So this object is a collection of data and function. So what are the data and functions you are creating? So this object will interrelate this data and function. Understand? So for that object which is the template mean class is a template. Template is nothing but just like a model or syntax. Okay. So which is the template for the object? Class. So class you have defined, then you need to access the class, isn't it? So for accessing the class you should create a object. So class is the template for the object. Okay. So in object oriented programming last year itself you have studied. So objects is other is called instance of a class or class variable. This is very important one more question. Okay, many one word questions they will ask from here. Understand? So objects are otherwise called as instance of a class. So object you have created inside the class, we are calling that variable is called what? Class variable. Understand? So what are the variables you have defined inside the class? You are calling that variable called as class variable. Understand? So classes are just like a template for the object. Then according to the concept of object oriented programming, already we have studied. So objects are otherwise called as instances of a class. So you have defined a lot of variables inside the class. The variables we are calling as an which variable? Class variable. Okay. So what are the things you have defined inside a class that we are calling as an object? Okay. For example, a class student of. So inside the class you have defined in age, height, weight. So in age, height, weight, this and all data. You are accessing the data by using functions. For example, void display of, that is a function. So if you need to access both this data and function means you should create a object. Okay, object is nothing but, for example, student is there. If you need to access all the details inside the student, all the variables, all the functions, everything. For that you should create an object. So objects are nothing but any one variable. Okay, so later examples are there. If you see the examples means you will understand. Okay, so we are whatever variables you are creating inside the class, we will say as a that and all belongs to a object for the class. For example, so integer variables. What do you mean by integer? Number, normal numbers. If you define a numbers inside the program, we will define as a data type int. Point numbers means we will define a data type as float. Likewise, so for example, all the integer variables, if you need to define some numbers, so you should define a data type as int, isn't it? So likewise, all the integer variables are belongs to a class type int. Likewise, so if you define a character or strings A, B, C, D, so all the string variables belongs to the class string. For example, if you need to define 100 numbers, So all these numbers are belongs to which data type? Int. So this all these variables, you should define a lot of variables inside the program, isn't it? So this int is defined inside the class int. Likewise, a string is defined inside the class string. Understand? This is very, very important. From this, lot of one-word questions they will ask. What are things you have studied? Which is the main building block of a Python program? Class. So empty if a class alone there means whether any use is there? No. So inside the class you should define lot of datas and functions. So which is the interconnection for this datas and function? Object. So we can say object is a collection of data and information. Okay. So this class we can say class is a template for the object. So this objects is otherwise called, very, very important, objects is otherwise called instances of the class. Otherwise we are calling as a class variable. Okay. So what are the things you have defined inside a Python program? We are saying that as an object. Okay. For example, if you need to define a lot of numbers, that all the numbers are belongs to the data type int, class int. If you need to define a string, where means if it will belong to the data type string. Understand? So listen, next thing, defining classes. Okay. So now you have studied about what do you mean by class, isn't it? Next, you are going to study about defining classes. Okay. How you need to define class or how you are going to create a class. Okay. So last year also you have studied class is defined using the keyword class. In C++ also a class is defined using the keyword class. Isn't it? In Python also, if you are going to define a class, the class is defined by a keyword class. Okay. Listen, and each class name will have a unique name. What do you mean by unique name? Separate names. So one program a class name called student, another program another own name. So each class name will have a unique name. So and also each class name is followed by a symbol colon. Very, very important. So each class name have a separate unique name and also each class is followed by a symbol called colon. Understand? 2 points you have studied, very, very important, 2 mark question. So defining classes. Okay, the class is always starts with the keyword class and each class will have a unique class name. The class name is followed by a symbol called colon. Okay, see. So this is the syntax for the class. So class always starts with the keyword class. So function always starts with the keyword def. Isn't it? Likewise, a class always starts with the keyword class. Then what you should define? Class name. Class name. Then each class name is followed by a symbol called colon. Understand? So inside the class name, you have defined lot of statements. So inside the class, how many statements they have given? Statement 1, statement 2 till statement n. N number of statements you can define. Understand? So, if we have studied the statements, is in statement 1 to n. So inside the statement, you can define variables, functions, loops, everything you can able to define. Okay, so what's the syntax? Class name, then followed by a symbol, colon. Then inside the class, you have define, according to your wish, you can define what are the things based on the program, what are things you need to define, all the things you have defined inside the class name. So what are statements? In the place of statements, what are things you can define? So you have defined, you can define variables, objects, then functions, then loops, everything you can define. Isn't it? So similarly in C++ you have defined main of function, isn't it? That is important. So inside the main of function, you should call what are the things you have declared in the program, isn't it? Likewise, so in the place of statements, according to your wish, you can able to define lot of things. Okay. So you have defined lot of variables inside the class. Okay, consider. So you have defined lot of variables. For example, in the age, in the height, in the weight. Inside the class student, you have defined lot of variables. Okay. So the variables defined inside the class, we are calling as which variable? Class variable. Very, very important question as well as very, very important 2 mark as well as 1 mark question. Okay. So variable defined inside the class, we are calling as an which variable? Class variable. Understand? As well as you have defined a function inside the class, we are calling as an methods. So what's the other name of function? Methods. Important. One more question. So variable you have defined inside the class, we are calling as an class variable. As well as if you are defining a functions inside the class, we are calling as an methods. Understand? So what's the other name of methods? What's the other name of function? Methods. So you have defined lot of variables and functions inside the class. Okay. So we can we can say these variables and methods or functions togetherly we can say as a members of the class. Understand? For example, in your class 47 students are there. So 47 students, you consider 47 variables. So for example, you are going to define a class. For example, your class you think. Your class, what's the format for creating a class? Class name followed by a semicolon. Colon. So for example, I am going to write a program for your class 12A. So class, what's the keyword class, then class name, class 12A. So class is over. So inside that, I am going to define lot of variables. For I am going to display the details for the students studying in 12A. So I am going to display int age, then int height, int weight. So 47 students I have declared. So I am going to call all these students in a function void display of. Understand? So this int age, height, weight, this and all called what? Variables. Then void display of, this is called method. So all these things we are together we can say as a members of the class. So in your class 47 students are there. Okay. So altogether 47 students we can say as a 47 members in your class. Understand now what are members of a class? Likewise, what are the variables, what are the functions you can define inside the class? We can call togetherly the functions and the classes a members of the class. Understand? So you have defined everything inside the class. Now you need to access each members. Understand? So you need to access each members. So how you need to access each members means using objects. Understand? So how you need to access all the members of the class using objects. So what do you mean by objects? Objects is an instance of a class. Okay. So in a Python program, you can define the class anywhere in the Python program. So in a program, anywhere you can able to define a class. Understand? So what's the format for create in class? What are things you have studied? Very, very important question. Now itself, please study. While I am taking class itself, please understand. And now itself you study. Very, very easy chapter. Okay. So what's the first point? Class always starts with the keyword class. That's the first point. Then, so each class will have a unique class name. So likewise, 47 members are there in your class. So 47 students will have 47 names, isn't it? Likewise, each class will have unique class name. So what's the format for defining a class? Class, keyword, then class name followed with a colon. Inside the class, you can able to write a lot of statements, isn't it? So statement means inside the statement, you can write variables, functions, loops, everything. Function definition as per your wish you can write. Okay. So you can define lot of variables inside the class. So variables defined inside the class, we are calling that variable called which variable? Class variable. Understand? And also functions we are defining inside the class, that functions we are calling as an methods. Okay. So what are the variables defined inside the class? We are calling the variables defined inside the class is called class variable, as well as the functions we are calling as an methods. Okay. So inside the class, functions as well as variable is there. So we can call these functions and methods together we can say as a members of a class. Okay. Now class is there inside the class. Variables are there. Functions are there. Now you need to access the variables as well as functions. How you need to access you through objects. So what's the other name for object? Objects are otherwise called as instance of a class. Understand? So you can define anywhere in the Python, any place in the Python program. Okay, class can be defined anywhere in the Python program. So it's not a compulsory to define as a first. Inside also you can able to define. Understand? So this is the example program for defining a class. Okay. What's the format for defining a class? First, a class starts with a keyword class. So what's the keyword here? Class. Then class name. So what's the class name here? Sample. Understand? So class starts with a keyword class, then class name. What's the class name here? Sample. Then followed with colon. Okay. So inside the class, they are here defined two variables. What are the variables? X and Y. Okay. So they have given values 10, 20. What's the meaning? So value 20 is assigned to the variable X and the value value 10 is assigned to the variable X and value 20 is assigned to the variable Y. Okay. So you have defined how many variables inside the class? How many variables? Two variables. What are the variables? X and Y. So already you have studied variables defined inside the class. We are calling as in which variable? Class variable. So what are the class variables? How many class variables are here? Two. What are they? X and Y. Okay. So now you have defined two variables inside the class. Isn't it? Now you need to access the two variables. The two values already you have defined a values for two variables. Now you are going to access these two variables. Okay. So if you need to access the variables means you should create objects. Isn't it? Yes. So understand this program. So what's the format for creation of class? Class always starts with the keyword class, then followed by a class name with colon. What's the class name here? Sample. Then two variables you have defined here. The variables defined inside the class we are calling as an class variable. So how many class variables are here? Two. What are they? X and Y. So simply we can define. So now we need to access the variables inside the class. For that what you should do? Define a object. Understand? So still now we have studied about creation of classes, then class variables. Now you need to access the variables, functions, everything inside the class. For that you should create a objects. Okay. So creation, next you are going to study about creation of objects. Okay. So that only they are telling once you have created a class. What's the next step? You should define lot of variables and the functions inside the class. Next, you need to access that all the functions, what are things you have defined in the class, all the things you should access. For that, what's the next step? You should create a object. What's the other name for object? Instance of a class. Okay. So, the very, very important question, 2-mark question. So, the process of creating object inside the class, we are calling as a class instantiation. What do you mean by class instantiation? The process of creating a object inside the class is called which one? Class instantiation. Very, very important question. Again and again I am telling. So, once more, now itself you study. You have defined a class. Once you have defined a class, what's the next step? You should create an object. What's the use of object? To access the data and functions you have declared inside the class. So what's the other name for object? Object is an instance of a class. Okay. So the process of creation of this object we are calling as an what? Class instantiation. Important 2-mark question. Okay. So this is the syntax for creation of object. Okay. So what's the syntax mean? So first you should define object name. Object name equal to class name of. What's the syntax? Object name equal to class name of. So whatever name you have mentioned in a class name, that same name you should call here. Okay. For example, you could already have defined class student of. So here you can define an object. Yes, one object, any one variable you can define. That is yes equal to student of. Understand? The same class name you should call here. Then what's the meaning of that one? Means you can able to access all the details present inside the class. Understand the creation of object? So what's the other name? The process of creation of object inside a class we are calling as a class instantiation. What's the syntax? Object name equal to class name of. Understand? Yes. So now we have studied creation of objects, isn't it? Next. So step by step we have studied already. First you have studied a class. That means that only first itself I am telling. Once you have defined a class. So class is a basic building. So inside the class you have defined lot of variables. That means the variables and functions. Next you need to access the variables and functions. For that what you need to create? Create a object. So you have studied about objects also. Next you need to access all the variables and functions inside a class. For that, listen, you are going to accessing class members. What do you mean by members? So you have defined variables, functions, loops, everything. So each and everything defined inside the class we are calling as an class members. Okay. So that means that we are telling us what do you mean by class variable? A variable defined inside the class we are calling as an class variable. And also already have studied a methods or function. Method or function defined inside a class is called as a class function or method. So these two of things are need to access inside the program. Isn't it? How you need to access means using a dot operator. Important 1 mark question. So what are things I have said as important 1 mark, 2 mark? So now itself, while I am taking class itself, I used to say, this is the important 2 mark question. This is the important 1 mark question. So at that time itself, please underline that line in your textbook. Okay. Then while you are studying, you can able to remember these are the things are important. Okay. Yes. Important 1 mark question. Okay. This is. So class variable or function can be accessed using which operator? Dot operator. Understand? So see the syntax. This is syntax for accessing class member. What's the syntax? First, object name. So what object you have created in the program. So that object name dot class member. That means which member or which functions or which variable you are going to access. That one you need to declare here. Call here. Okay. So what's the syntax for accessing class member? Object name dot class member. So each and every syntax are very, very, very important. So don't write any blunder things in the syntax. Understand? So listen. Next we are going to study about one program. Okay. Very, very easy program. Listen carefully. So this program define a class. So here you are going to define a class and also you are going to accessing the variables inside the class. Okay. What are things you are going to define? First you are going to define a class. Next you are going to access the variables inside the class. Okay. Listen. So what's the format for defining a class? Class starts with the keyword class. Then class name. Okay. Then what's the first step? You should create a class with the keyword class. The class always starts with the keyword class with the, listen carefully here. So you lab program also class program is there. You should listen. So always the class, the C capital letter, C is its small letter. Don't write a capital letter. So the keyword class starts with the C. It's a small letter. Don't write as a capital letter. Okay. So keyword class. Then class name. What's the class name here? What's the class name? Sample. So listen. What's the syntax for defining class? Class, class name, then colon. Okay. So what's the class name here? Sample. What's the class name? Sample. Then you should define, write a symbol colon. Next you are going to define two variables. So variables defined inside the class we are calling as in which variable? Class variable. So how many variables you have defined? You are defining here two variables. What are they? X and Y. So you are assigning the values of X is 10 and Y is 20. Okay. Next step. Next you need to access that variables inside the program. Further, what's the first step? First, if you need to access anything inside the class means you should create a object for the class. This and all very, very important. Step by step I am telling. First define a class. So that is over. Class, class name. Then you are going to define a variables. So two variables. What are the X and Y? So variables are defined inside the class sample. So variables defined inside the class we are calling as in which variable? class variable. Next, you need to access all the things inside the class. For that, you should create a object for the class. So what's the syntax for creation of object? Object equal to class name of. So what object you have created here? Yes. What object you have created here? Yes. Okay. Then what's what's the syntax for creation of object? Object name equal to class name of. So what's the class name here? Sample. So you should call the class name. So object, what's the object here? So now itself I am telling what do you mean by object, what are the class variables. So if your textbook means please write with your pencil. This is the object. This is the class name. So this is the way of accessing object. Then while you are studying the program, it is easy for you to study. Understand? So listen. So which is object? Yes. Yes is the object. So what's the syntax for creation of object? Object name equal to class name of. So what's the class name? Sample of. Understand? So the process of creation of object is called what? Class instantiation. So with this line belongs to what? Class instantiation. Sometimes they will give the program and ask you to write. So identify class variables, identify function, identify object, identify class instantiation. So at the time you should know this is the class variable. This is the class instantiation. What do you mean by class instantiation? Process of creation of object inside a class is called class instantiation. Okay, so you have created which object? Yes. So what's the syntax? Object name equal to class name of. Next, so you have created object. Next, you need to access each members are present inside the class. So what are the members or what are the things you have defined? Only two variables. Okay, so two variables you are going to access. Listen. So inside the first you are going to print the value. So print value of x. So equal to, listen, how you need to access, what's the syntax for accessing the variables inside the class? Object name dot, using which operator? Dot operator. Very, very important. To access the members of a class, you should use which operator? Dot operator. Okay. So object name. So listen carefully. This is common for all the program. So if you need to access the members of the class, you should create a object. So the next, if you need to access object name dot that variable name. If you need to access a function name, means object name dot function name. Understand? So listen, what's the object name here? So here and all you should remember. So here you have defined capital letter, but in the place here if you write a small letter means the program will throw a error. So which way you are defined the same thing you need to call. Okay. So what's the object name here? Yes. Yes dot, you need to access variable x. So yes dot x. Then next line, print value of y. That is yes dot y. Okay. So now you are going to add these two variables. Okay. In the place, simply if we give value of x equal to x, value of y equal to y means it will throw an error. Why? So you have defined a variables inside the class. If you need to access the variables inside the class, you should call the variables using object, using dot operator. Understand? So s dot x, s dot y. What's the meaning? Now this object is accessing the variable x with the value 10 and the next variable, the object s is accessing the variable y from the class sample with the value 20. Understand? So next line you are going to add x and y. So the values of x and y is now belongs to which variable? S dot x and s dot y. So you should add this s dot x plus s dot y. Understand? See the output. So the value of x equal to, so here which value will come? 10. So value of y equal to s dot y means 20. So what output you will get? 10 plus 20, the answer is 30. Understand? This is the simplest program. So this is the concept. If you understand the concept means the remaining programs also you can easy to study. Otherwise feel tough to study. Understand? So next thing is the class methods. So what do you mean by methods? The functions are otherwise called as methods. The functions defined inside the class we are calling as methods, isn't it? So this method is similar to a, normally we will say a function void read data of, that's one function. So it is similar to a class methods also a similar to a normal function. But but only one different is there. Okay, what different means? So inside the class, if you are defining a function, so that function will have the argument as a self. Understand? So already you have studied the function always starts with the keyword def. Isn't it? Function always starts with the keyword def. Def, then function name inside arguments. Already we have studied. So what's the small difference means inside the class? If inside the class you have defined any function, so inside the function always will have the first argument called self. Okay. So what's the first argument name? Self. The function will have the first argument name called self. Okay. So no need to pass any value for this argument. Self means self. No need to pass any argument or value for this self. Okay. So if you define a function without any arguments, what do you mean by arguments? For example, void read data of. Simply void read data of, simply if you are giving. So without any argument, if you are not defining any argument, inside the bracket you are not defining any argument. So if you are not defining any argument also, the program will consider as a one argument called self. Always the first argument will come. If you are not defining means also, the program will automatically consider the first argument as a self. And also it will provide a value automatically to the self. You no need to provide any value for this argument. Okay. So if you are not defining any argument also, the Python will consider the first argument as a self. Understand? So if you are defining two arguments, listen, if you are defining two arguments inside the function. Okay. So if two arguments is there means, so first argument will always considered as a self. For example, if you are defining only one argument, consider if you are defining only one argument inside the function. Okay, but the function will consider as a two argument. Why? Always the function will have first argument as a self. If you define one argument means also it will consider as a two argument. First as a self and second as a what argument you have defined. Okay, and also if you are defining any methods or functions inside the class, how you need to declare means a class name and dot operator. The function is always called using a class name with dot operator. And so see the example, then only you will get understand. See this example. So here you are going to find a total as well as average mark using a class concept. So already you have studied the same concept in the last chapter, I think it's so. Isn't it? Using list. Yes, using a list of tuples you have studied, average of students mark. But here you are going to find a total as well as average marks of a student using which concept? Class concept. Okay, listen. So what's the first thing? You should define a class. Class always starts with the keyword class. So class always starts with the keyword class. See the keyword class, this and the line arrangements are very important. The similar way only you should write. So in the exam also you should write in the similar way. Okay, don't write all the things at the starting of the line. In the second chapter itself you have studied Python always a space is very important. Space indented. You have studied, no? Yes. So class name starts with the keyword class with small letter. Then class name. What's the class name here? Student. Then followed with colon. So inside you have defined three variables. What are the variables? Mark 1, Mark 2 and Mark 3. So the variables defined in the class we are calling as which variable? Class variable. So what are the values they have assigned for the variable? Mark 1 45, Mark 2 91, Mark 3 71. So now you have created three variables. Next, you are going to create a function. For calculating total as well as average, you are going to create a functions. So the functions you have created inside the class, we are calling as a method, class method. See, in the command line for your understanding they have given. So this is the function. So function always starts with the keyword. Function always starts with the keyword def. So listen, function always starts with the keyword def. Then function name. So what's the function name here? Process. They are given the function name as process. So inside, this is the argument. Okay. Inside they have defined no argument, but If you are not defining any argument also, it will consider as a one argument self. But you no need to pass any values for the argument. Understand, this is called what? Argument. Inside the function, if you are defined inside the bracket, we are calling as an argument. Okay. So listen, function starts with a keyword def, then function name process inside an argument called self. Listen. Next, you are going to accessing the three variables. What's the format for accessing three variables? Class name dot variable. So you are going to add three variables. So sum equal to, what's the class name? Student. So student dot mark 1 plus student dot mark 2 plus student dot mark 3. What's the meaning means? By seeing itself you can understand. You are going to take the values of 3 marks from the class. So for that the class name you should call as a just like a initial. Student dot mark 1, student dot mark 2, student dot mark 3. So 3 marks you are adding. Next, you are going to take average. What's the formula for average? So total subject divided by number of subjects. So here how many marks is there? Totally 3. So all the 3 marks are stored in which variable? Summed and stored in sum variable. So sum divided by 3. Next you are going to print. So print total marks equal to, total marks is given in which variable? All the marks are added and stored in the variable sum. Next, average marks are stored in the variable average, AVG. Next, return. What do you mean by return statement? What's the use? It will return the values for this variable sum and average. Okay. Next, this and all. Okay. So function is over. First you have defined a class, that over. Then inside the class you have defined three variables, that is also over. Next you have defined a function with one argument self. Inside the function you have called what? Call the variables using the class name. Then you should create a objects for the class. Very, very important. So this is important just like a main of function in C++. So in C++ at last you will write now in the main of. So the program will execute the main of function first. Likewise, here this object creation is very, very important. So if you have written fully without writing this one means the program won't run and also you won't get the output. Okay. So what's the format for creating object? So object name equal to class name of. So what's the object you are creating here? Yes. Yes equal to, what's the class name? Student of. What's the meaning means? So with this object you can able to access all the details inside the program. Understand? So with this object you can able to access all the details inside the program. So what's the object name now? Yes. So now you need to access what's the detail? So you are going to access the sum and average. All the things you have defined inside the function called process, isn't it? So you need to call the function. So function you need to call with the object name, isn't it? So what's the object name here? Yes dot process of. So what's the meaning means? This object will call this function. So now you run the program means first it will run s equal to student of. So s equal to student of means class. Next s equal to process of. So inside the process function, what are things you have defined that will display as a output. Understand? So this is very, very important. Just like a main of function, you should create an object for the class. What's the meaning means? You can able to access all the details inside the class. So what detail is there next? Function. So you should call the function using a object. So s dot process of. Now you run the program. So what output you will get? Total marks equal to. So what are the marks you are entering? That total mark you will get. Then average mark. What are the marks you are entering? That average will get as a output. Understand? So listen students, what are things you have studied today? Very, very important chapter and also easy. If you are understanding and studying means very easy. What are things you have studied? Class, what do you mean by class? What do you mean by object? Creation of a class, then creation of a object, creation of a function. So all the things are very, very important. After completion of this session, this week you have exam I think. So isn't it? So please once you read now. So concentrate for your exams now. Once you read it, then never get forget. Okay, remaining things you can continue in the next class. Thank you students. Thank you.